Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today I have a bit a different video. I have a video with a PK deck. I started playing the deck and I want to show you how to break a board and what the deck is capable of doing. So start into the replay. I only show one match because the second game was not that well, but the first game is really cool because I played like through 3 interruptions and still managed to break the whole board. So my opponent went first and had Shade Brigandine, Ash Blossom, Raid Raptor, Vanishing Lanius, Mimicry Lanius, and Monster Reborn. So I didn't play often against Raid Raptor, so I didn't know what they do exactly. But it was good that I had Dark Ruler in hand. So he starts off with normal summoning Vanishing, then he can special summon another monster. Overlays for 4 Strix. Get the search here. For Signing Lanes, they can special summon if I have a if he has a face-up Xyz monster. Then he can banish to add to the nest. Nest adds when you have 2 or more Raid Raptors on field. Add the wing. You can detach on material to special it. He goes into the link. Link can special summon a monster, but its effects are negated. So he goes for another 4 Strix, then triggers the Y Strix to set the red gut magic, and Saphir bounce the nest back to hand to bring him back. From here he goes into Bardiche, special summons the Strange Lanius, bring back the Vanishing Lanius, and goes for Redoer. So we see he plays around Lightning Storm. He sends Boots with Bardiche, and he will set another Shade Brigandine. So I don't know why my opponent plays 2 Shade and only 1 Fog Blade, because he could also set a Fog Blade here. But nevertheless, so I start my turn, and it's actually a pretty good hand. If I had like another PK name than Staingreaves, it would be like really good, but so unfortunately he snipes the Fog Blade, and I just want to read the Raid Raptor cards because I was not sure what they're doing exactly. So I Dark Ruler my opponent, and I knew 2 back rows. I knew 1 Shade. I knew 3, sorry. 1 Shade, 1 Rank Up Magic, and 1 Fog Blade, and 1 Nest in hand. So I normal summon Tour Guide and go chaining 1 Tour Guide, chaining 2 Kagemuche. I bring out the Graph and make sure to summon a dark monster in the middle zone. That way you can protect Cherubini because it points to a monster. Then I go Graph Effect, special summon Seer. And here he want to Fog Blade, but I told him that the send is a cost, so I go Cherubini Effect. Send the Cloak. And then I could go for Bardiche, but since I knew he had the Fog Blade, I mean Appaloosa, but since I knew he had the Fog Blade, it would have been a really bad play. So I go into Bardiche and trigger the Seer, and here my opponent make a big misplay. He should have waited until I declare the Bardiche effect, because you will see later in the game he will use the Ash Blossom for the Bardiche. So he traded like 2 cards for 1 effect, where he could negate it with 1 effect. So This is not optimal from my opponent. And bring back the Cherubini. And from here I go banish Cloak. And since I had Torn Scales in hand, which is really good, and the Stained Greaves, I had to make sure that Stained Greaves go into grave, so I special summon the Silent Boots and go for Unicorn. I could go directly into Unicorn, I didn't know I special summon the Silent Boots here. But with Unicorn I make sure that the Stained Greaves go in grave so I can extend more with Torn Scales. And here I want to read the rank up magic. So I bounce the Redoer that I can get my Fog Blade into the graveyard. Then I banish the Stained Greaves to special summon Torn Scales. Now I know. I special summon the Silent Boots so I can break my own Break Sword and have 2 PK names in my graveyard so I can revive them both back. So I don't use the Rusty effect here. You will see why. So I pop the Fog Blade with it and bring back both PK names. And then I go into Raider's Knight. So now I go Rusty effect. Pop the Force Trick. So I forced him to use his rank up magic spell here. And he goes for Air Raid. Air Raid pops on summon. And if he gets destroyed, he can special summon Revolution Falcon and attach itself to it. So he pops my Raider's Knight, and here I want to read the Revolution Falcon. It's he has an effect in the damage in the battle phase, and once per turn you can target a monster your opponent controls and pop it and inflict damage to it like it's 80k. So he popped my Raider's Knight, which is okay for me because I didn't use Torn Scales effect in graveyard and I still had the Fog Blade in grave. So I go Rusty effect to get another I would like to get another name in grave, but here he ashes. So imagine if you used Fog Blade here, you could use Ash maybe on a Torn Scales effect or something, which would have been crucial. So I banish the Fog Blade, bring out the Silent Boots and then Torn's triggers. And then I knew if I want to out the Revolution Air Raid, I have to get Ragga Gloves as an Xyz material so I can push it for 1000. So I got Torn Scales and ditch the Fog Blade and send the Ragged Gloves. So they are both level 3 again. I overlay them for Break Sword again. It's not a once per turn, which makes it really good. So I pop itself and the last unknown set. So turns out it was Shape Brigandine again. And so I knew he had Nest in hand, 1 unknown, and the Shape Brigandine set. So I was really confident to break the board here. Then I bring back both as a level 4, and that's why I sent Ragged Gloves. So our Dark Rebellion is at 3500 because Ragged boosts for 1000. And then I went into battle phase and with I just want to make sure that I read it again. So I attack Unicorn into Bardiche. And then I remembered he takes no damage. And I clear his Revolution Falcon Air Raid. And then in main phase 2, I activate my Silent Boots to grab the rank up magic because I saw in his first turn that he uses a lot of monster effects. So I basically broke his whole board and still managed to get like my setup going and had 3 monster negates. So he normal summons Tribute Lanius, and I go rank up magic, banish the Graph to go into Dark Requiem, and normally I special summon in defense if it's like turn 2, but I don't have to be afraid of Lightning Storm here, so I special summon in attack mode. And then Bardiche effect to pop his Revolution Falcon, because he could pop a card I control. So I want to get rid of this, and with Lanius I can deal with Dark Requiem. I negate this one, bring back the Break Sword. Then he wants to go Savior again, but I remembered him that it's only once per duel. So he activate Nest and go Monster Reborn. He want to use the effect again, and I told him it's only once per turn, like use once per turn, so goes Shape Brigandine into Force Strix, activate effect, and I go Dark Requiem again to negate and bring back the second Break Sword, and here he scoops, and yeah, I would have game on field and he would have nothing left in his graveyard and hand, so yeah. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I showed you how strong the deck is and that you can play through multiple interruptions. I had like one game where I played through Dragoon, Cosmic, Drone and Lockbird and a Pop, and still managed to OTK my opponent without Dark Ruler. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Turn in next time, leave a comment, subscribe, and have a nice day. Bye.